We always think about the world of peace, love, harmony, happiness. So, in soul consciousness, my intellect is with Baba, and keep the vision of the world, which is free from sorrow, pain, any kind of violence, world of complete joy, harmonious relationships, love for everyone. So when I keep this vision of the world, then my thoughts, the vibrations spread all over the world. And as lighthouse, might house, I spread the rays of light and also power. So at this time, with my powerful and loveful thoughts, I create vibrations of peace and harmony. Baba was selfless server, and he used to serve all the time through thoughts, words, and actions. At this time, in Baba's remembrance, I serve through the thoughts, through the stability and peace of my own mind. And with the joy and happiness of victory belonging to Baba. So I send all the vibrations. I stay connected with Baba. So I can constantly take power from Baba to remain stable, calm, and peaceful, and help other souls also to remain stable and peaceful. So we continue our seva, our service mind, to make the atmosphere very calm and peaceful. So take the drishti from Baba and connect your intellect with Baba.
Om Shanti, welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today we'll be doing for January 7th, Raazyukt, integrity. Now we'll be listening from Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Lovely to see you all. Very happy to see you all well. These days we start our experience at Amrit Vela collectively, listening and then reminding, practicing every step we have to take following Brahma Baba. And I know that we all have beautiful experiences. I also find that because we have to do homework, so our intellect stays with it. Otherwise, situations outside, whatever happen, day to day things can distract the intellect. But we remember, oh, I have to do my homework. I have to, constantly reminding ourselves of our homework keeps our intellect really with full concentration, and there's no waste of thoughts, waste of time or energy of any kind. So it's a very beautiful journey we have taken, and I'm sure you all also having good experiences, good reflections or writing or whatever efforts you're making. One of the important humility Baba's life was following directions. Following directions really requires humility. So Shiv Baba giving Srimad, he's calling it orders or directions, and Brahma Baba respectfully accepting and following all the directions. Because when you have to follow directions, you need a surrender intellect so that you can listen properly what direction it is. A lot of people, while listening direction, if their intellect is not surrendered, they're thinking in their own way. So they're not able to follow full directions. So when it comes to doing in practical, that also is not 100% accurate. So I've been reflecting on that, how, Dari Janki also used to give this example that if you give message to someone, to give this message somewhere, he will add one or two words or own interpretation. And by the time message reaches to person, is diluted, it's not accurate. So intellect and mind has this tendency uh, to intervene in listening, in understanding, thinking, no, this doesn't sound right, and then we add something. But accuracy of message. So same is accurate in following directions. How much his faith, his love, his attention, concentration on catching those directions, listening to those directions, and implementing them. I thought this requires great humility and also 100% faith that these are the directions which will take me to the destination. These are the directions which will make my life successful. These are directions which will help me to create my fortune or to do unlimited service, to be a good instrument. Many, many aspects. So, but I also find that in Avyakti Murlis, many, many Avyakti Murlis, you will find a similar kind of explanation on the theme, the footsteps which Baba takes. Actually, it creates very, when you do that, you want to do to follow. exactly what Brahma Baba did and follow the footsteps. A lot of abilities will grow of the mind: concentration, attention, focus, detach from your own thinking, surrender intellect, quiet intellect, so that I can follow, understand, absorb the directions properly. Some people, even when they are driving, they are very good in following direction, and some no. So they will miss one exit or they will miss something. That could happen in on our spiritual journey also. So surrender intellect and kind of making mind a good listener, not only listening through ears, but listening, mind is listening properly and accepting it. So these abilities are increasing when we are now paying full attention to follow directions or the footsteps which Brahma Baba took to follow Shiv Baba's directions. Not today, the for tomorrow, but today we will be talking about integration. No, not integration, but integrity. What we call it? Huh? Integrity. Integrity in a personality. Because someone said to me, what is the difference between integration and integrity? Right? So integrity is more within the personality, and then it's like mind, words, thoughts, words, actions, our belief, our thinking, and practice, same alignment. Not I think something and then I'm saying something else. I'm doing something completely different. No. So there are many, many aspects we can take, but we will take just three today. One is that when I have knowledge about soul, one of the most important quality which emerge that I am detached from the body. We always think of detachment always from people and situations. I am detached observer. But how can you be detached observer if you are not detached from your own body? So when you practice soul consciousness, that natural detachment will also create the quality mm, of being detached observer. Because even with your own body, you are detached. So you are looking at your body, you are using your body, but in a very detached attitude. And it's why it's pleasant because I am doing it, and then it's very easy in soul consciousness to be observer, observing everyone's part, whatever is the specialty. That is why a beautiful example of lotus is given for detached. Because lotus is detached, but it's lovely. Why it is lovely? Not because it is detached, hmm, but how, let's say, if you cut lotus from the plant, separate it won't remain beautiful for a long time or lovely. So this connection, interconnectedness is there. Brahma Baba didn't just leave and said, now I'm detached, I'm going. No, he took care of wealth, then he took care of the family also. He gave message to everyone and invited them to join on this spiritual journey. If not, okay, they have their own life. They can go and live whatever way they want. So he was lovely. Sometimes detached kind of people take it very harsh because they're not starting with their own personal detachment from the body. And in soul consciousness, you are with everyone, whether they are Lokik relationship, whether they are spiritual relationship, but you are always connected. And because of this internal detachment between soul and body, and in soul consciousness, you are very lovely. Some are detached, but then they are very strong. They are not. They are very. They're not very sweet in the sense of lovely. So this morning, since I had been thinking about this, that when you are truly detached, first from body and then in bodily relationship and have spiritual relationship with everyone. Mm. I know that Baba's Lokik wife, when I saw her and I was seeing that their relationship, that spiritual relationship which she had and respect she had for Brahma Baba was completely spiritual. It was not like Lokik. So this whole thing of being detached and lovely, and one very important personality of Brahma Baba was that, of course, he had, complete distaste from world and everything. But then, as I said, that he was also very much interested and engaged in everything, taking care of yagya, taking care of Brahmins and yagya, sustaining them, being very, very caring. Because sometimes distaste or vairagya is seen like, okay, now I'm not interested in anything. But life is a energy which has to be used. And yagya was created so that we can use that energy or get that energy by by taking care of yagya. He will walk around kitchen. He will go around the back door of Pandavavan. He will go everywhere. He will go. There is a story that they were digging a well at the back Pandavavan for water, but they were not able to see water for quite a long time. So Brahma Baba decided to go down on the ladder to look at the bottom of the well. Why? What's wrong? And everyone say, Baba, you don't need to go. Why you have to go? We are taking care of it. Baba still went. It's like he was in touch with everything, what's happening, what has to be done. Of course, it's a great source of inspiration, but we used to be very careful with his age that he shouldn't be doing some of the things. So, very engaged and very much. Uh, there are some who feel, oh, I have no interest now in this. I don't have interest in food. I don't have interest. No. Food is nurturing for the body. You need to give body proper balanced food. You are offering to God. Should look nice. Fragrance should be good. Taste should be good. So distaste or vairagya doesn't mean no interest. Yeah, whatever is useless, physical, materialistic, no, you don't have interest. But then same things have to be changed because they are the source of life, everything. Taking interest in plants or taking interest in fruits, taking interest in food. I know there are some Lokik people will say, But on one side, you say we are renunciate, we are vairag, but you all have taste for everything. Mhm. So we say, but in golden age, everything will be satoguni and relationships will be loving and there will be hospitality, everything. So it's a very, very beautiful, a kind of, we can call it, uh, I think, balance. But then also, we can take many. One more is Rup Basant. He was embodiment, and also then he will speak or shower knowledge. Whole day, one of the thing with Brahma Baba was so cheerful, like he will walk around or anywhere. He was never like serious. He was introverted, but not serious. Because when you are serious means you have a concern or you somewhere. I never saw that. So much used to happen in Yagya or from outside public. But he will be always be very light energy, very cheerful, full of enthusiasm. It's really beautiful. Because he was embodiment and then he was speaking, right? So we never said he's a good speaker, no. Uh, so each one of us, we have to look into our personality as Roop Basant, or a balance between love and law or guidelines. Right? Love can only last long if there are guidelines in relationships. Otherwise, it will somewhere you get along, then you won't get along. You are very friendly, then something happens, then you don't talk to each other. All this happens because there is lack of that spirituality, lack of guidelines. I always say if you have a good friend and then you start talking about all kinds of things, because you are friendly, you can, but this habit is not good, right? So I have to be detached and say, no, I can't allow myself to be in such kind of friendship, right? Because that means not a good company then. So how to be Rupasan, how to have this balance of love and law. Balance is kind of a ordinary word. So how to have being integrated is very, very high quality. Anyway, we have full day tomorrow to understand it more, reflect on it, and also inculcate and become that. Follow the footsteps of Brahma Baba. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, dear Mohini Didi. Good evening,
Hello.
everyone. Hello. I'm back again.
Yes, but it seems people are not bored yet with you, so
It's okay. Then tell me when they are.
Keep coming back.
Tell me when they are. I'll send them someone else. No, I find it really fascinating. I think it was just a trick from Baba to bring me so close into that session. And I'm fascinated with every aspect every day, and that notion of root sanskar. And thinking of integrity, I like the way you started with the notion of humility in following directions and the ability to follow directions, because when they define integrity, they say it's the practice of being honest in pursuing higher principles, moral values. So in a way for us, integrity, so our commitment to follow directions in a proper way, And you mentioned that humility is required, the ability of listening, understanding the direction. And we say for remembrance to be unadulterated. So I'm wondering what will be the quality of integrity in following directions. Would it be unadulterated? Would it be unbroken? Maybe to follow directions and being unbroken? Because integrity seems to indicate the consistency that we maintain that practice, no matter what, we follow higher values. So the question I would have for you is, how did you see Brahma Baba holding on to these principles and these higher moral values without being forceful or rigid or too strict? How did he maintain these highest principles without sometimes you wanting to tell Brahma Baba, hey, relax a little bit, be cool?
See, one of the principle when it comes to lover and beloved is I just love you, I love you. So Baba, love for one helped him to be naturally committed, and also whatever knowledge was being given, teachings were given, he was able to imbibe them naturally. So it was just total love, you know. With faith is also important, but I think love is more important. So, you know, Baba gives example of lover and beloved sometimes, and you know, he gives example which are like it's not body conscious relationship, but it's just love. So what I had been really feeling that how much he loved, and then he trusted Brahma, Shiv Baba, total trust. And that's where I think commitment also comes. But commitment also sometimes looks like a forceful thing. Oh, I'm committed to this, like reminding myself. I don't think he had to do even that, but he was fulfilling uh, his love, you know, with honesty. You know, as generally they say, there shouldn't be third person between lover and beloved, or husband and wife, even they mention. So there shouldn't be third one. So that whole thing of he never had his yoga of intellect anywhere else. Even Mama was with him, and there were daddies. We all were around, and he will love all of us. You know, he really loved. But then we knew that he's giving us love so that we can also love Shiv Baba. You know, he never thought that he wanted us to love him. Of course, we loved him, but then he keep kind of drawing our attention towards Shiv Baba. We are eating, we are playing, we are anything. Whom with you playing? Whom you are eating with? Say Shiv Baba. No, not right. Then whom? Mother, father, Bab Dada. But he will keep doing that many times a day. Any action we will do with him, he will remind us. So I think this kind of that honesty, you know, naturally being loveful with one, and it's not only in his heart, but in practical life also. As I said, Mama, you know, of course she was daddies, you know, they all were part of Baba's life and they were very close. But I never saw his intellect being pulled by Dadi Prakash Mani or Mama or no. It was like, you know, he was teaching them, he was training them, he will, you know, love them. Everyone he cared so much. But we didn't see that he has any special favorite, you know, kind of relationship with someone. No. Everyone, he will tease them like by showing, oh, I love this one more, or give someone something, but not because his intellect was full. And more I think about it, and I say it's amazing kind of honesty in relationship in a very natural way. And that is why for 33 plus years, whatever situations came from outside or within unlimited family, spiritual family, but it was nothing like I never saw him serious. You know, when I say, oh, sometimes we are, oh, I have few concerns or So internally we become little heavy or serious, but not Brahma Baba's. That means he was so surrender, or he had so much love, knowing, like he knew God. So when he knew God, like when times Baba says, you all don't know as he is, but he knew. So he didn't take burden or heaviness or responsibility, but not kind of, concerns of any kind. It's amazing, so many years. Because then we look at ourselves, and when I think of Brahma Baba, it's really, really great inspiration.
So much that I just realized today that by listening very attentively now every night, and in this month of January, listening to you and your description of Brahma Baba's personality, I know for me, it makes me fall in love with him in a way even more, knowing that love takes me to Shiv Baba as well. But it occurred to me today to think that I never heard of anyone mentioning any little defect of Brahma Baba. We never heard, that he had a weak spot. So I was thinking, wow, what a personality that no one ever mentioned anything, a flaw in his personality. So if now the challenge is we still have about, 20 some days left to become like him. Well, that's the goal. How do he made it such a natural personality. How can we, move forward so that it becomes also so natural for us that we don't have to, like I was saying yesterday, I don't have to force myself to be humble, or I don't have to force myself to be honest.
I think it's the company of Shiv Baba, because company has impact. So somewhere, whatever flaws or weaknesses he had, I think all in body consciousness, there will always be certain things. But I think that even before his last birth, even it is last birth, but the kind of life he had, like he was in business, but no greed, and he was honest in business with the family, big family, extended family, very loveful, respectful, harmonious, like a good life, which I think most of us had, even in Lokik. So when it comes to weaknesses, that means there are some sanskars. But amazingly, we never notice sanskar, because his remembrance, his company, and his love was transforming and bringing the action, in the sense of they were being burnt, uh, or maybe elevated sanskar remain more merged than the weak ones. But he would have sanskar of, say, 63 births, right? But that's what sometimes I wonder, that when Baba says storms first come to Baba and then to others. So one is storm coming and other is storm hitting us. How hard it hits us. That didn't happen. That we didn't see. Whether it was picketing was happening, 20 of them saying, Baba, we are leaving Yagya. Okay, children, keep happy, go get settled wherever you are. And they left and still singing praise of Baba. So some people say, why you left? We had difficulties. We couldn't live that kind of life, or we were looking for more security. But nobody said Baba did this, and that is why I always remind all the instruments that whether someone is leaving or whatever, don't change your attitude towards them, because it's all right, it's their part, and they are honest, they are saying we want to go. But with instruments, if someone is gone, that's it, they will kind of feel they're not part of us and all that. But that Prabha Baba never did, it says they all will leave. Many, many mothers had to leave because of health, or their families wanted them to come back. But the connection always remained. with Brahma Baba. They really love. They will still send Toli. They will send some contribution. So, it's a lot of learning from there about uh, how that transformation which was happening in him must be, was so invisible in the sense that what we were seeing in practical was the pure ones, the strong ones, and the sanskar based on the teachings and the directions of Shiva.
So when Brahma Baba was hitting by a storm, he never came to you privately saying, "Oh, Mohini Ben, today I have such a headache. These are picketing again. These sisters are doing this." So you never felt that he was a little bit affected by the storm.
Surprisingly, never, because whenever we saw him walking in the room, personal meeting, in the classroom, it's like lovely energy, elevated enthusiasm. It's amazing, how 33 years while on being journey with all these adverse situations, he was always smiling. And sometimes I try to think, was there any moment I saw him different, but I can't recollect at all. So there was obviously no experience like this.
I
And I
do
think I
feel,
think we can become like that too, in the sense of keep thinking about how he did it. We can also do it.
well, I like the way you are blessing us every night, telling us, this is your pep talk to all of us. Courage, you have the sanskar, the root sanskar is in you. We can become that. But I find it fascinating to explore this dimension of sanskars. Because, for example, when Baba says, you have knowledge, but you will not take knowledge with you in Golden Age, but you will take the sanskars of knowledge. And I often reflected on what are the sanskars of knowledge. With the qualities or the virtues we've been looking at in the past few nights, if we think of it, humility, integrity, altruism, honesty, they won't be spoken of in Golden Age. I don't think Narayan will ever have a chit chat with Lakshmi saying, Lakshmi, honestly, we should buy more grain tomorrow. And Lakshmi responding, my Narayan, you're so humble, I like the way you handle. I don't know, if you remove all these talk, I don't know how they're going to talk to each other, but to be, and so if those virtues, honesty, integrity, humility are not even spoken of and not even in our awareness, what are the sanskaras that are being taken to Golden Age where those virtues are rooted on? It's complicated, but it's what's the solution? Oh, what's the answer?
Because sanskars are what you are, then, it's not virtues you're taking, but you are honest. You have those qualities. So it's not you're talking about virtues or becoming aware, but you are that. That means when Baba says embodiment of knowledge or embodiment of love, embodiment means you are that. You are that quality, you are that virtue, you are purity. And that is why life will be very natural. When we talk of life in golden age here, then we say all virtuous and viceless. But in golden age, that's what you are, right? So we will never talk about it, think about it. And I think that's what we will attain, everything natural. As you yourself saying, it's not you feel forceful. Like everything become natural. And that's what I think Baba has given us time to understand, to reflect. And I think we are becoming embodiment also, right? The percentage is increasing every day. So sanskars means being that embodiment. So it's not only, that's why sometimes Baba said, oh, you don't even take sanskars from here. Because then eternal, then original sanskars emerging from eternity. So that means I am naturally becoming that eternal, and then originally what will emerge will be divine and pure. So that's the stage we all will experience now.
So do you think to reach that stage, maybe we need to think, how do we talk to ourselves? Because what we see in the way Brahma Baba spoke with himself was as if he's really alone with the truth. He's alone with God, with Baba, and he's having a very intimate conversation with Baba. And he's very aware of himself as a being. So maybe instead of thinking, I need to become humble, I need to become honest, there's another way of thinking so that we feel we are naturally, we're tapping into a deeper awareness rather than the effort maker awareness.
See, there are two things what his conversation intimate before coming to knowledge, before meeting Shiv Baba. But when he met Shiv Baba, in some of the Murlis, Baba says, every morning I wake up and I naturally praise Shiv Baba. Baba, you have come, you have shown me new world, you making me this. Very lovefully, I just talk to Shiv Baba. So when he's talking to Shiv Baba, it's not churning knowledge, it's not but like what I have received from you, I'm very fortunate. You are giving me fortune. So like when he is listening knowledge, this is what I am, and he realized this is what I am or I am becoming, I think that conversation, if we experiment with, could give us more of, it's like inheriting then God's qualities in us. Because I always feel that one is my inculcation, other is what I inherit from God. So my inculcation may take efforts and time, but when I always realize uh, these are my inherent sanskars, my inherent qualities from God, which sometimes you might not see, but functioning like all of us from our parents, Lokik parents. So we inherit a lot of things which are not visible. But a child grows, people say, oh, your mother was like that, your father. So I believe in this kind of that soul eternally has inherited all these qualities. And when we realize and experience that, then they emerge into the original, or when we are born in our first birth in golden age. So if you go a little deeper in that, you will find that they are very natural. They are very natural. We calling it root sanskar or eternal. So practice could really should be more of going on eternal stage, more experience of eternal stage where you will experience original sanskar or root sanskars. You will notice and you will find, oh yes, I always liked honesty. I always, had been honest, but then maybe sometimes because of circumstances or not having enough courage, we may compromise. So I think this deep realization and feeling of attainment, I think is very, very important. And then you will see there is no weakness, but everything is natural.
I know tomorrow is Thursday, so you will go and meet him a little bit in the Sutta region. Tell him hello from us and that we really wish we could meet him every Thursday as well. And if he brings us to the Sutta region, if he doesn't mind, I'll come with the little camera because we don't have video of him. I won't take an iPhone because he doesn't like the word I, so I'll take another phone. But if we can take a picture in the Sutta region, that would be lovely. Ask him if we can take some picture in the Sutta region, and we'd love to see him closer.
You can, no third eye is like your camera.
I'll see if we can record with the third eye.
Yeah, third eye can see everything, and soul records everything. Okay.
But it's lovely on Thursday. We should all feel that we want so much to become more like him, and we really appreciate that you're giving us not just understanding, but the experience of his personality. So thank you so much. It's really, I'm tasting his personality more and more, and it is inspiring us very much to become more like him, easily, without effort.
Actually, when we came India, and especially double foreigners, they saw Brahma Baba in a frame, in a room, and they, oh, is it Guru, Master, or whatever? And then I was telling, I had a meeting with a group of, so I said, we never talked about the relationships, how as a father he cared, how as teacher he, because more we talk about that, we're not seeing someone in a frame like this is Brahma Baba. So we never got into intimate relationships. And that is happening now when I'm sharing that you all are feeling. Or last night when you heard he's asking about, do you want kulfi or mango purple? Like knowing him, how he is, never happened properly. But now the stories of Yagya and his personal stories definitely helping us to have this close connection and natural love for Brahma Baba. Before people, oh, do you have to remember Baba, Shiv Baba or Brahma Baba? And now we say, but they both are together. Like Mama used to say, I can't separate them. So same will start happening to all of us. Anyway, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you. So I know Sister Gayatri will bring us a new wonderful sentence to imbibe and to experience. So welcome, Sister Gayatri.
Thank you, and good luck with your filming tomorrow in the subtle regions. And maybe he would like the word not iPhone, but Viewmaster. In the long ago, we used to have Viewmasters, and we used to see all these different slides. So maybe Viewmaster would attract him better.
No, I'll tell him this is your phone, not iPhone. It's your phone.
It's Baba phone.
Baba phone. So you should allow me to take pictures.
Yeah. So today, it's we are going to be reviewing our roots and skara for tomorrow, and the roots and skara, as you heard, is integrity. So integrity, what is integrity? Brother Eric has given his view on it. It's honesty. Sister Mohini was talking about it as being the same on the inside as you are on the outside. And for me, integrity means doing the right thing in a reliable way. It is a personality trait that we admire and we trust, since it means a person has a very sound moral compass that doesn't waver. So there's a consistency in the morals. That means the way they live. And it literally means having wholeness of character. So that's what integrity for me is. So when I look at the meaning and I then connect it to the 3 points of detached and loving, beyond and engaged in Rup and Vasant, what came from Madhuban is also very beautiful in terms of detached and loving. They said Father Brahma always remained seated on the seat of a detached observer. Now we know how hard that is to be a detached observer. He stayed beyond what was detached observer for him, and I suppose it was in the initial stages, but then it grew and became more refined, was he stayed beyond his old nature and sanskaras. So once he became Brahma, he was never Dadalek Raj. So he remained beyond old nature and sanskaras. And while living in the old world, he remained free from attachments to any person or possession at a very subtle level. And the subtle level was in his thoughts and dreams. And of course, we just have to read 3 and 1, and we get a very good idea of how he was detached from his children, and particularly Daddy Nirmal Shanta, while at the same time, recognizing her for who she is. And then the other connected to the integrity bit is beyond and engage. So he was always seated on the throne of the Trimurti, because Brahma Baba was also a trustee. And so as a trustee, he always, the integrity of being a trustee was that he always had the awareness of the three aspects of time in his every action, thus making his actions into pure and elevated ones. And then Rup Basant, and the integrity of being Rup Basant is what Sismuni talked about. He was the same on the inside as he was on the outside. So there was no discrepancy between the Rup, who he was as an internal embodiment, and the Basant, how he appeared outside. And so the knowledge that he had, that Baba revealed through him, was refined to such an extent that it went into him and molded him into the angel, or molded him into Krishna, and molded him into Narayan, and molded him into Vishnu. So that was the Rup that was getting molded inside of him. And then there was this natural flow of that Rup through him. And so there was no difference between who Brahma Baba was on the inside and what he said and what he did. And no matter how simple that action was, the elevated aspect of him always shone through. So you see, this is integrity at three different levels. So it showed integrity in three different ways. And how does this now connect to the point that with the quote that we are going to be reviewing, we're going to be inculcating, we're going to be connected to tomorrow? Because connecting to the quote is actually connecting you to integrity and to these different ways that integrity showed up in Baba's life. So in preparing himself to be a soul of integrity, and he wasn't integrating. Of course, the words are connected, but he wasn't integrating anything. Integrity means you're showing up as a whole character. You're showing up who you are. And then when you're doing different things, you may be integrating it, but the integrity is more root. It's more a seated sanskara. You're more sitting on that in order to integrate. And so, what was that? How did he prepare himself? And that quote says it all, because it's very simple. It wasn't like he did something complicated in order to emerge that, as Mohini says, that inherited sanskara of integrity. But he just recognized that there were some very basic things he had to come to terms with. And the quote says it all. Everything belongs to God. I have no desires. And I won't even think that anything belongs to me. So one is general, everything belongs to God, but he didn't stop there. I have no desires. And then even deeper than that, I won't even think that anything belonged to me. So I feel that it connects so very beautifully to the integrity that Baba inculcated, or Baba emerged, and talked to himself about. So I think whether we're doing option one of contemplating, which we do at 4:00, and so you get the experience of that at Amrit Vela, or we do it through reflecting and we're writing it. Someone said to me very beautifully, she said that when I write, I feel such a calmness coming over me. It is almost therapeutic. It's a therapy that I'm doing. So whether you're reflecting it, remember what those words mean, and it's taking you into your integrity. And when I was hearing Sister Mohini and Eric talk, I thought that let's take the quote as the entry point into our journaling. But as we're journaling, this might be a good journaling aim to have. And that is, as Sister Mohini says, if I have inherited integrity in myself, if that is so, that my roots and sanskara is actually already there within me, if I have inherited integrity in myself, how do I experience this as a root sanskara? Like Baba, the way he talked to himself, how would I talk to myself in my journal? How would I talk to that inherited integrity that is within me so that I can reconnect to it and bring it out? So again, I'm sure you're going to enjoy your day. It's a beautiful, integrity is such a beautiful sanskara to have because it's a clean sanskara. And I just want to mention when we're doing our closing yoga tonight with Sister Mohini, please send out vibrations to the people of the United States of America because a lot is going on in the country right now. And so we should send our love and remembrances and help them, help them connect to the truth and to their integrity. Om Shanti.
Welcome to Avyakti Journey.
Om Shanti Avyakti Parivar! Guess who is back? Oh right, it's me, Avyakti Balak! And also Avyakti Kumari. We miss this angelic gathering very much. Yes, sister. I have heard that this beautiful Avyakti Parivar has making very special efforts in this month in following the footsteps of our beloved Brahma Baba. I am enjoying Didi's interview with Brother Eric and Sister Gayatri every day and all the Sakar memories. Our Dadis and Didis are so fortunate to have seen the life of Brahma Baba in a practical form. Right, brother? Oh yes, sister. And we are also so lucky to have such an angel, our dear Mohini Didi with us. She takes us back into the Sakar days through her sharings. Would you like to know more about Mohini Didi's time with Brahma Baba? Oh wow! Look at this picture. It's so beautiful. This question is for you. Didi, can you tell us when, where, and how you met Brahma Baba that day? What was your overall experience of that day?
Actually, I don't remember the day, but this is my, I think, meeting fourth or fifth time to Madhuban. First time I went with my Lokik mother, and then Mama came to 5 days and stayed at the center where I was instrument. And then Mama gave course to this couple you are seeing. Of course, there is other brother who was instrument at that center, and his name is Dr. Mathur and his wife Vijaya. And so Mama gave kind of like started giving course, then I followed up. He was the first scientist soul. They used to call him VIP. His grandson is actually in San Francisco. And so then I had to bring them to Madhuban. And, the way everything what Brahma Baba did was so special. When, it's like if you take a group or anyone to Madhuban, first thing he wanted to know, how are those guests and are we taking care of them properly? Every night they get water or they are taken, to the dining area. So Baba used to say, when you all are there, they take care of you. Now you bring them here. You have to take care of them. So Baba's hospitality, Baba's not only love but hospitality was so accurate that anyone who goes there, whatever limited facilities are there, but everyone should be comfortable, should have enough blanket night time, should have proper food. Like in one sense, we think he's the spiritual father. So he should only be talking about knowledge. And that should be the care that, oh, did you do Amrit Vela? Did you attend class? He will never ask that. He will always ask about our external or physical well being, because Baba always used to say that you all children live in the kingdom of Raman. So when you come here, you are on vacation. So Baba has to take care of you children. It's such a lovely feeling of going back to our parents' home and where the parents will take care of us. So not only for me, but he will keep inquiring and keep taking care. And this brother, Dr. Mathur, in the beginning when he went, he had habit all the time. Like if you see a great man or older man, you fold your hands and not say namaste, but you. So Baba said, you can't do that to your father. You don't do that to your father. So he had habits. So Baba told him, put your hands in your pocket so they don't come out. So Baba will very humorously tell him to change this habit. So he was so humble and loving that he didn't want us not to bow, not to touch his feet, nor even to say that we salute or namaste to you. So it's really beautiful how Baba took care of all of us and made us like one big uh, family. So overall experience was of hospitality.
Thank you, Didi. So that moment, so how you described was took us also into that moment. So that was our Avyakti journey for today. That we wanted to ask Didi a question about her, those memories with Baba. So now, as it's tomorrow is Thursday, and take drishti from Didi.
In Baba's remembrance, we send lots of Baba's love, power, peace to the people who are going through some difficult time or lot of protests are happening and curfew in Washington. So our good wishes and vibrations are for all of them, and so that there can be peace, love and harmony. So let's remember Baba. Om, Om Shanti and good night everyone. Keep well. See you all tomorrow. Om Shanti. Good night.